Once upon a time, in a small and lonely cottage situated at the edge of a vast, ancient forest, lived a poor woodcutter and his wife, who spent their days working hard and their nights dreaming of a family they did not have. One evening, as the wife sat by the flickering light of the hearth, she sighed and whispered to the air that she would be the happiest woman in the world if only she had a child, even if that child were no bigger than her husband's thumb. A wandering fairy, touched by the sincerity of the woman's heart, granted the wish, and soon a tiny, perfectly formed boy was born. He was indeed no larger than a thumb, and though his parents fed him the finest crumbs and gave him the warmest bed made of a polished walnut shell, he never grew an inch taller. They named him Tom Thumb, and despite his small stature, he possessed a heart as brave as a lion's and a mind as sharp as a needle. As Tom grew older, he became determined to help his father in the field. One day, seeing his father struggle to lead the horse while carrying heavy logs, Tom climbed into the horse's ear and whispered directions so precisely that the animal moved perfectly, appearing to onlookers as if it were guided by a ghost. Two traveling circus performers, seeing this miracle, offered the father a bag of gold to buy the boy, intending to display him as a curiosity. Tom, wanting to save his parents from poverty, whispered to his father to accept the gold, promising he would find a way home. Once on the road, Tom waited until the men stopped to rest, then slipped from a hat brim into a mouse hole, leaving the greedy men to search fruitlessly until nightfall. Tom's journey home, however, turned into a series of epic and dangerous trials. While resting in a meadow, a grazing cow accidentally scooped him up along with a mouthful of clover. Tom found himself tumbling into the dark, cavernous stomach of the beast, where he shouted and kicked so vigorously that the cow became distressed, eventually causing the frightened animal to cough him out. No sooner had he escaped the cow than a hungry wolf snatched him up. Thinking quickly, Tom promised the wolf a feast of hams and cheeses if it would follow his directions to a specific pantry, which happened to be his own father's house. Once inside the pantry, Tom made such a thunderous racket that his father woke up and drove the wolf away, finally reuniting with his tiny son. His fame eventually reached the court of King Arthur, where Tom became a celebrated knight of the Round Table. The king commissioned a tiny suit of armor made of gold and a needle forged into a sword so that Tom could defend the kingdom against spiders and garden pests. He rode a loyal mouse into battle and went on many adventures, once even being swallowed by a giant fish and delivered to the royal kitchen when the fish was caught for a banquet. After years of brave service and legendary feats, Tom returned to his parents' cottage laden with royal gifts and gold. He lived out his days in comfort and joy, proving to the entire kingdom that true greatness and strength are never a matter of physical size, but are found in the cleverness of the mind and the courage of the spirit. The story teaches us that physical size or brute force is not the only way to overcome obstacles. Tom Thumb faces giants, wolves, and thieves, all much larger than him, yet he survives by using his wit, cleverness, and quick thinking. It highlights that a sharp mind is often more powerful than a strong sword. 2. Courage is not measured by size. Despite being no bigger than a thumb, Tom is incredibly brave. He doesn't let his disability or small stature limit his dreams. He becomes a knight and a hero, showing that true courage comes from the heart and the spirit, not from one's physical appearance. 3. Resourcefulness and resilience. Tom's journey is a lesson in adaptability. Whether he is trapped inside a cow or a fish, he never gives up. He looks for a way out of every impossible situation. This encourages readers to be resilient and to use whatever tools they have, no matter how small, to navigate through life's challenges. 4. Devotion to family. At the heart of the story is Tom's love for his parents. He is willing to sacrifice himself by being sold to the strangers, just to ensure his parents escape poverty. This emphasizes the value of loyalty and selflessness. In short, the story proves that your limitations do not define your potential. No matter how small you feel in a big world, your character and intelligence can make you a giant among men.